Today, Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care provides hospice services to terminally ill patients and their families from 4 office locations in North Carolina. They are Yadkin, right here on Maple Street, Elkin, Mount Airy, and Pilot Mountain. And we have 2 office locations in Virginia, which are in Hillsville and Stewart. And then as an additional location, we have a 20-bed hospice facility in Dobson, Surrey County. That's a total of 7 locations. Through patient in-home care, we help patients and their families deal with end-of-life issues while helping to make sickness and loss a time of sharing and remembrance. Hospice services are available to patients of any age, religion, race, or illness. While Medicare, Medicaid, and most private insurances cover the cost of hospice services, Mountain Valley Hospice provides care to terminally ill patients and their families regardless of their ability to pay. Here in Yadkin County, as I said before, we've been here since 1997. We are the only licensed hospice agency in the county. And you probably have heard of other hospices, but we are not connected. They're separate, and simply put, if you've seen one hospice, you've seen one hospice. They're all different in the way they operate. They have the same rules and regulations, but they're different. In January of 2013, we moved to our current office here in Yadkin on Maple Street. In addition to home care services, Mountain Valley provides services at local and regional hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living, and long-term care facilities, and I will add wherever the patient calls home. Because it doesn't matter, we've served patients under a bridge, in a campground, you name it. If that's where they call home, we will serve them. The demand for hospice services is growing at a consistent rate, and we do not see this trend slowing. In Yadkin County, approximately 35% of the patients that died used hospice services. Currently, terminally ill patients residing in and around Yadkin County must turn to local and regional hospitals, nursing homes, or hospice inpatient facilities located outside of the county for end-of-life care when they cannot remain at home. Mountain Valley Hospice has determined that approximately 42 of the 171 patients served in the most previous year would have qualified for care in an inpatient facility. A lot of them were served in the Dobson facility. A lot of them are probably served in the Winston facility, which is not our facility. That is a different hospice. In addition, patients residing in Wilkes and Davie counties have limited access to hospice inpatient facilities and could also utilize the facility here in Yadkin County. There isn't a facility in either one of those counties. Without a local hospice home, some of these patients must travel, like I said, to Dobson or to Winston. And sometimes they travel as much as an hour away, which can be challenging going every day to see a loved one. Without a local hospice home, some of these patients, lost my track there. Often there are waiting lists at these facilities, and patients often die in a hospital or elsewhere without the care and support of a hospice interdisciplinary care team. In 2012, the board of members for Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care began exploring the possibility of establishing a hospice home in Yadkin County. We actually had to petition the state for a certificate of need, and then turn around and apply for the certificate of need. And in 2013, we were awarded that CON. So that was a lot of work, a lot of expense, but we knew we needed this facility here in Yadkin County. Initial cost estimates for the land acquisition, construction, and furnishing for this new Yadkin Hospice home are $3.5 million. In order to test the community's willingness to provide leadership and financial support, Mountain Valley Hospice retained the services of Whitney Jones out of Winston-Salem to conduct the campaign survey. Their report found an overwhelmingly positive community response for this project. As a result, in October of 2014, we purchased the land said to my left, and we launched a community-wide capital campaign to raise a minimum of $2.5 million to help underwrite the construction of Yadkin County's first hospice home. Jerry Carlton, who is with us today, is chairing the campaign along with Wayne and Tina Macemore. I know y'all all know Jerry. Where you at, Jerry? He's on the front. Stand up, Jerry. Y'all know Jerry. Wayne and Tina, where y'all at? Oh, okay. They're up front. I should look there first, huh? Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask Jerry, Wayne, and Tina to join me at the podium. For a minute, we changed our agenda. So, and now, why we called you here today, we are able to announce that we have received a significant early commitment toward our campaign from one of our community's great citizens. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Roger Cook, the Vice President of the State Employees Credit Union Yadkin Branch.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Once again, my name is Roger Cook, and I'm the Vice President for the State Employees Credit Union here in Yadkin County. I'm delighted to be here today for SECU's Foundation presentation of a $1 million challenge grant for SECU Hospice Home. It is an exciting day for our community as we have numerous SECU employees, Foundation representatives joining us on the special occasion, including my advisory board volunteers. If you would please, if you guys would stand for me just so they can... Senior Vice President of the Bermuda Run District, Ms. Carrie Shore. Senior Vice President of the Mount Airy District, which is Miss Lynette Phillips. Jamie Dagenhart, which is the new SECU Foundation Executive Director. And for just a brief moment, I'd like to introduce Mr. Wayne Matthews, which is our Advisory Board's Chair.
Thank you. It's a great privilege to be able to represent those folks who previously stood that are members of our advisory board. And I'd like to take just a moment to recognize and congratulate basically three groups involved in this process. First of all, the Mountain Valley Hospice Group and their capital campaign committee. Now, I'm going to quiz you a little bit. I'm a former science teacher, I always, like to start out a class with a question. Now, how many of you in here know what the acronym CHIPN means? Any of you hospice folks, some of y'all raise your hand. CHPN, Certified Hospice Palliative Nurse. I live with one. My spouse, my wife, works in that field, and so I have an understanding of what it takes to do this kind of work. And I applaud each and every one of you that are involved in that. I also want to congratulate and thank the folks who are on the capital campaign, because I know a lot of these folks. They're local folks. I've worked with them. And they embody the phrase that is synonymous with Apollo 13. Failure is not an option. These folks will not fail. They will come through, they actually pass, and they will with this project. And I know it's going to be a great success. To the foundation, thank you very much for your work and what you do across the state and the many projects that have been supported by our SECU Foundation. And this is the first time, I think, that Yadkin County has benefited from that, but I'm sure it won't be the last. A little plug there. And then, okay, finally, I want to thank our local branch, the Yadkin branch, and I want to start out by a little story. I actually had a part to play in the beginning of this location. It seems that they were looking for a place, the property was available, and Lynette was charged with justifying the fact that there was a little bit more property here to buy than normally the credit union would purchase for a site. So I got a phone call from the Executive Vice President of Surrey Community College where I work, Dr. Gary Tilley. He said, would you mind driving Lynette around town, showing her places that might be available so that she would have some other sites to compare to help justify purchasing property here. And I was glad to do that. At the end of our drive, I told Lynette, being a poor state employee, anybody here from Raleigh that's working on the budget? Anyway, I told her, I said, I always wanted to be on the bank board. And I said, you know, to get this done, I'd love to be on the advisory board. And so she was good to her word, saying she would remember me. And I got to serve. So it's a great pleasure to do that. But finally, the ones that really make it happen for us here are the folks that work in this building. They're the reason why basically we're here today, because we have a branch here. They are always top notch when I go in, and we get reports back on how well they're doing. You know, Disney prides itself in having great customer service. Disney can learn a few things from Roger and staff. Okay? And it's proven each and every time we have a quarterly report because of the great things that are going on here in the way. So again, I thank you very much for all this and how we're the synergy around this project, and we look forward to being able to have a ribbon cutting very soon. Thank you.
And at this time, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who is dedicated to the contribution of the Credit Union and SECU Foundation. He has served on the board of directors for SECU since 2000, holding the office of chairman from 2011 to 2013. He is currently chairman of SECU's Foundation Board of Directors. He believes strongly in the cooperative fellowship, philosophy, of the credit union, and volunteers his time with many organizations within his community. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. McKinley Wood.
I'm pleased to be here today, and this isn't hot to me. Long before I was the chairman of the State Employees Foundation, I grew up in eastern North Carolina, in Kinston, and I was the grandson and the great-grandson of Baptist ministers who required the boys to wear long-sleeve shirts and ties, and if you got hot, you sat beside the window at church that was raised with your church van with the advertisement from the local funeral home. So you won't see me take off my coat today because it's just not that hot. I'm pleased to be here and to represent the Credit Union Foundation for what a great day and for a great project. We are pleased to be able to partner with Hope Valley Hospice, Mountain Valley Hospice, to support the construction of this great facility. Our credit union foundation was founded just 11 years ago. So it was just 11 years ago that we started our SECU Foundation, and we established it to basically to help our communities across the state in 4 areas. And those are in the areas of education, housing, healthcare, and human services. And so for the last 11 years, we've had scholarships, we have a cancer center in Asheville, the teacher housing projects over in eastern North Carolina, and all of these are just examples of how the credit union puts into action its people versus people helping people philosophy. And so for the last 11 years, believe it or not, some money has come from the foundation to Yadkin County. So in the last 11 years, we have awarded $230,000 to this county alone in scholarships for high school students, community college students, and other students who have desired to return to community college to better their education. So it is with great pleasure that, my purpose for being here is to put a face with the person whose signature is on the check, basically. And so I'm pleased to be here, and on behalf of the credit union, to offer this $1 million challenge grant. And so Denise, if you will come forward, and our executive director has the big check. We'd like to present this to Mountain Valley Hospice at this time. You can stand right behind us.
I want to smile real big.
Only $1 million check that should be cashed with my name. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to ask Jerry Cauldron to come back up.
Thank you, Denise. On behalf of our campaign cabinet and the citizens of the Yadkin Valley, I would like to thank the State Employees Credit Union for this most generous grant. And your commitment to the folks in Yadkin and surrounding counties. This is the largest grant that I can recall. It's one of the largest. Might not be the largest, but it's one of the largest. And I'm also happy and pleased to announce that today we are at 52% of our campaign goal. So, with this grant, it enables us and the commitment from the State Employees Credit Union, it gives us the opportunity to move forward with our fundraising effort in an aggressive way. And that in order to bring a home, a hospice home, to Yadkin County. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. One thing that I failed to do earlier, and I feel it's most appropriate, I want to recognize our hospice staff and volunteers. If you would raise your hand, please. Staff and volunteers. And one person I'd like for you to meet, not that nobody in Yadkin County knows her. Stand up, Marty Driver. Director for the Yadkin location. She is very, very involved in this project, and she wants this more than anybody, I can tell you. So we appreciate Marty. I'm glad that she's here in Yadkin County, and she's just been great for our organization. So everybody call Marty if you need anything in Yadkin County. Okay. I wanted to take a moment just to say thank you to the SECU Foundation for their confidence in Mountain Valley Hospice. This is not the first time they've given money to us. We actually got a significant gift from them for the hospice home in Dobson. We didn't realize they gave money to hospice homes until it was later in our campaign. But they came through in a big way, and we really appreciate it. If you get a chance to go to the one in Dobson, please go look at it. It's a large version of what this is going to look like. So, but it will give you an idea of what we're trying to do here in this county. Got out of order, so bear with me. And I guess we're at the end, unless anybody has a burning need to share something. As we go forward, we're going to be raising money and maybe calling on people. And if you want to be involved in this project, please let us know. We do hope that everyone in the Yadkin Valley will support this campaign with your gifts and pledges and encourage your friends and neighbors to support this campaign. I understand that Roger's going to be putting donation containers in the credit union. He's ready. So bring your pennies, bring your dollars, your quarters, whatever. Please come and support this project. But I want to say in closing, thank you all for coming today, and please enjoy some cold ice cream that we've prepared for you, and have a great afternoon. There's also ice water back there, but thank you all so very much.